Welcome back to We Talking Steelers. This is your host T Nunn, and I'm here today because the draft is 2 days away. And right now, I have come up with my own mock draft. I know you guys have seen plenty of mock drafts in the last couple of weeks or so. If you're a real Steelers fan and you follow the draft and all that, quite sure you've seen so many things thrown at you. The Malik Willis first round draft pick. A lot of people have him going to the Steelers. Some people have Kenny Pickett and some other things. But I'm going to tell you, my first round draft pick is not Malik Willis. It's Desmond Ridder from the University of Cincinnati. We all know the Steelers are going to draft a quarterback. Right now, we have 2 on the roster. And the Steelers normally carry 3 during the season. They normally take 4 to camp. So we know that they're going to draft a quarterback and probably bring in somebody after free agency to compete for the 3 positions of quarterback. The reason why I'm saying Desmond Ridder, we all know how much the Steelers love Malik Willis. But I don't feel he will be there at 20. And if he's not there at 10 or 11, I don't feel like the Steelers would trade down to get him. So I feel like he's going number 6 to Carolina. If he goes 6 to Carolina, I don't feel like the Steelers will trade up for a quarterback. We all know the Steelers don't like to lose draft capital. So if Malik Willis is gone in top 10, he won't be able to be drafted by the Steelers. So the other choices are Kenny Pickett, who I feel like the New Orleans Saints are going to draft Kenny Pickett. They have 2 picks in the first round, and I don't feel like the Steelers would trade up over New Orleans for Kenny Pickett. I just don't see it. I know he's the hometown kid. He played at the University of Pitt, but I don't feel like they are in love with him like that. So that leaves Desmond Ridder. Now, with that being said, I feel like that there's 2 guys that can be drafted in the first round by the Steelers that will move that quarterback selection to a further round. And those guys are Jordan Davis, the defensive tackle, nose tackle from the University of Georgia, who ran a 4.77 40. That's ridiculous for a nose tackle. And that being said, we're not sure on what's going on with Stephon Tuitt. So with that being said, it's a possibility they could draft a nose tackle to shore up that defensive front, because we did have trouble stopping the run last year. Fitzpatrick made way too many tackles for a free safety. So I could see that happening. I know we got mylesjack on the second level. Devin Bush looks good in workout, so hopefully things will work out. The other thing I can see, the Steelers drafting the Notre Dame safety, Kyle Hamilton. So if one of those 2 guys fall to 20th, I could see the Steelers drafting one of them, and that will pretty much say the Steelers are going to try to draft Matt Corral later. I'm not a fan of Sam Howell from North Carolina or either Carson Strong from Nevada. With their second round pick, I have the Steelers drafting George Pickens from the University of Georgia, wide receiver. We need a wide receiver. We only have Deontay Johnson, who's in the final year of his deal. And right now, I don't think there's been any negotiation, even though we have rumors flying around, any negotiation on him getting an extension. I know he wants an extension. I know he wants a 5-year, $90 million deal. I would too, with all the money they're throwing around every wide receiver. We have Chase Claypool, and then we have Anthony Miller, who is on the roster. Don't feel like he will be one of the top wide receivers when the season starts. We also have the return guy that we got from New England, Gunnar Olszewski. And I don't know how much wide receiver he'll be playing as far as return specialist. And then we picked up the guy, Miles from the Ravens, who they released, who was a 3rd round pick a couple of years back for them. So I feel like George Pickens is the guy. 3rd round, I have the Steelers drafting a cornerback from the University of Houston, Marcus Johns. That's who I feel like they will draft. Our secondary is a little bit young. Joe Hayden has left. I know we picked up Levi Wallace from Buffalo for one side, and then we re-signed Witherspoon, our own free agent this year. but I still feel like we can use some help back there in the secondary and improve. This is a passing league, so we gonna need some guys that can cover. And he's a young guy, and I feel like he can do the job. Number 4, still working on the offensive line, 4th round pick. I have the Steelers drafting Kellen Dysek, Arizona State University. I hope I'm pronouncing that correct. He's a tackle. We got guys in free agency that can play guard and center. And we also have Kendrick Green from last year who could play guard assist. So we have a lot of versatile guys. We didn't really address the tackle situation, so I feel like the Steelers will draft that in the 4th round. We don't have a 5th round pick, but we do have a 6th round pick. And our 6th round pick, I have us drafting a safety. And the safety that I have us drafting is Marquise Bell from Florida A&M University. I know the Steelers have scouted him a lot. I feel like he will be a good addition, especially to start off special teams or something like that. But he ran a 4.41 at the combine. I know he played at a small school, but I feel like he's a dog. I feel like he loves the game of football. So I feel like Marquise Bell will be the 6th round pick. The 7th round pick, the first 7th round, we got 2 7th round picks. The first one, I feel like we're going to go with Connor Hayward. I feel like the reason why we're going to go with Connor Hayward, of course, he's the little brother of Cam Hayward, but he is so versatile. He can play tight end. He can play fullback. He can play running back. And I feel like, especially since we're trying to establish this running game, I feel like he will be something that we need in the run game, blocking, do everything type guy, even tight end, halfback, safety valve for Mitch Trubisky, who is projected as the starter, or even the quarterback that we drafted, whoever. I don't feel like Mason Rudolph will be on the roster when the season starts. I feel like he will go to camp, but I feel like he won't be on the roster, and I'll address that in a little bit. And then the last 7th round pick, I have a running back from the University of Southern Cal, Keontae Ingram. That's who my 7 picks are. I mean, our picks for the 1 through 7th rounds. Chime in, agree, comment. But those are who I feel like, after looking at all the mock drafts, listening to everything that I've heard, that's who I feel like the Steelers will draft in the top in this year's draft. I do have a couple of honorable mentions. A couple of them I've already mentioned. I've mentioned Kyle Hamilton, the safety from Notre Dame. I mentioned Jordan Davis, the defensive tackle, nose tackle from the University of Georgia. And if we draft one of those, I feel like Carson Strong, who is another honorable mention for me, will be a Steelers selection if we draft one of those 2 guys in the 1st round. Also, I feel like Kobe Bryant, COBY, the defensive back from the University of Houston, is an option. And my last option is Matt Corral, which it's between Carson Strong, Matt Corral, Ole Miss, if we don't select the quarterback in the 1st round. So those are my picks. And now to go back to address what I was talking about, I feel like Mason Rudolph, who I feel is trash, will not be on the roster when the season starts. What I feel like is going to happen, I know you guys don't want to hear what I got to say, but it's looking kind of like that. The Cleveland Browns have signed 3 quarterbacks, traded or signed 3 quarterbacks in the offseason, one of them being former Steeler Joshua Dobbs. They've also got Deshaun Watson. They've also gotten Jacoby Brissett. So with that being said, at this stage and point, nobody's trading for Baker Mayfield. So ultimately, the Cleveland Browns aren't going to have 4 quarterbacks on the rosters. You can't anyway. It's not allowed by the NFL. You can only carry 3. So they're going to release Baker Mayfield. And I believe, unfortunately, because I'm not a Baker Mayfield fan, that the Steelers will sign Baker Mayfield as a free agent, and he will compete between Mitch Trubisky, the person we draft, and Mason Rudolph. And I feel like Mason Rudolph will be the odd man out. That's just my opinion. That's my take. And we'll see what happens. Like I said, the Steelers always take 4 quarterbacks to camp. They usually keep 3 on the roster. So we'll see where it happens from there. In other news, with Steeler news, we have re-signed Terrell Edmunds to a 1-year deal. So that's another thing. Reason why I believe the Steelers will draft the safety, and I said Marquise Bell, is because I don't see them thinking Terrell Edmunds is a long-timer answer. And because of free agency lingered around, he just got signed. So I don't feel like, I feel like it was a safety sign, just so we'll have a starting safety when the season starts, somebody that has already been there, done that type thing, you know, played games and started and so forth. The Honey Badger situation, I feel like that's ended since we've signed Terrell Edmunds. I don't really see us signing the Honey Badger and Terrell Edmunds. So I'm going to just believe that that's not going to happen. And that's pretty much what I have right now with the Steelers. We signed Terrell Edmunds and we signed Miles, wide receiver, in recent weeks. I know it's been a while since I've been on here. I keep seeing people talk about the Steelers drafting a linebacker, and I'm like, why? When we have mylesjack, Devin Bush, and Robert Spillane is coming back. And we have the rookie last year from Texas A&M. I can't think of his name right now, but he's there. So I don't see the Steelers drafting a linebacker at all. But if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Hit the notification button, comment below, tell me how you feel. Is this something that you can see happening? Tell me anything that you have to say about our Steelers, Steeler Nation. And then I will talk to you next time from We Talking Steelers. And this is your host, T Nunn. Let's get it. Peace.